I mean, you give readings yourself, so
Yep.
when you actually show that you can help and comfort people to let them know that their loved ones are there.
I think no matter
all
how much
times.
you do it, every single time still surprises you and it makes you feel great. So
Right. I mean, and this particular event was for her son, Zachary.
Yes.
And so all proceeds went to his memorial fund.
Mhm.
So it went for a good cause. She has it all the time. I know her and I are actually going to be back up in New Hampshire on Mother's Day. So we're going to get all that information online and post it. So anybody that's interested, we're going to be back to the Crown Plaza Hotel in Nashua on Mother's Day. So
That's
I
cool.
think that's May 13th.
I don't know when it is this year, but
Yeah.
it's coming
It is coming up.
faster than I thought it would.
I know. And of course, we have the Ocean State.
Yes, Ocean State Paracon.
Maybe Steph should talk tonight because I'm having a really tough time.
Hello everyone, I'm Tiffany Rice.
But, I know so Steph and I are going to be at the Ocean State Paracon. That's
Yes.
April 14th at St. Anne's Cultural Center
Mhm.
in Woonsocket.
Yes, Woonsocket.
Woonsocket. She's going to be there with the Phantom PI crew. I'm going to be there with myself. Anyways, and then
Not that bad.
I
They
know.
usually sit you right next to me, so you're not alone. But
I know, we always sit next to each other.
Yep.
And then the 21st, we're going to be at the Seaport.
Yes, for the South Coast Paranormal and Psychic Fair. So sitting next to each other again.
Again. And then there's the graveyard shift in Slater Mill.
Yes.
I'm going to be doing that as well. That's going to be in Pawtucket. Same day on the 21st, so there's just so much going on.
Yes, there is.
And I do have an announcement. I am getting a website finally. So I've been working on that. Actually, one of my good friends has been helping me. So thank you very much. But soon enough, we're just kind of working out some kinks and making sure we have all the right information up there. And that way you guys will be able to check out my website, check out the events. And it's good because I know at least half of the people that I give readings to, unfortunately, they're not on Facebook. So that's where I do most of my posting besides the show. I also want to mention, I just remembered this because we booked it today. I'm going to be going to Joanne Woods Young shop in Northeaston on March 29th. I'm going to be there from 5:30 to 8:30 doing private half-hour readings, which is great because I haven't been doing half-hour readings at all. I don't do them that much anymore. So that's going to be March 29th, 5:30 to 8:30. So if you are interested in getting a medium reading by me, definitely contact. You can go to Joanne at joannewoodsyoung.com. And she's also on Facebook. Wow. It's going to be a long night. A long night. Well, I also want to talk about tonight's guest because I'm super, super, super excited about it. And I know you are too because she has had an impact on us totally. I know you met her working at Collective Souls.
Yes, a long time
I think
ago.
that was the
Yep.
first time you met her.
I can't even remember now.
It was a while back. It was
Might
a
have
while
been.
back. We have Miss Rosie Dalton on tonight. And for those of you who don't know her, you probably would know her from, let's see, her psychic fairs that it would be in East Bridgewater. I know she's done the wellness retreats, the women's wellness retreats in Kingston.
Yes.
That's at Hope Floats. That's actually where I first met her. So when she comes on, I want to talk about that with her because I think that's a fun story. But she's done, of course, if you guys don't know her, she's Anastasia Grace's mom.
Yes. Yep.
Which we all love. And her family is just amazing. And
Yes, and Maureen Hancock's sister.
Yep.
So a lot of people know her from that because she's always with the family. Everybody's always family oriented, so it's awesome. What a great, great family.
And the family has done so much to our community as far as healers. So
Yes.
that's why I'm super excited that she was able to come on tonight.
Right.
So she has a lot going on and a lot to say and all of that good stuff.
It'll be a good show.
I know. I can't wait.
I know.
I can't wait. So definitely, if you guys, she was formerly Rosie Ewas, so you guys might know her from her other name, but now she is Rosie Dalton. So And I know she gave us a card when she came in, so I think the guys are going to be putting up that card soon. But once again, Steph, it's been
Yes.
great talking to you.
Absolutely. I'll be in my corner.
And have fun in the chat room, because I have a feeling it's going to be a crazy chat room tonight. So
I hope so.
I know.
All right. Off I go.
You did the same thing. Oh, you want me to?
Yeah, could you stick it in my
I'm just. So what you guys aren't witnessing, because you're staring at all of her information, you're good, is
You're good. We kept it good.
all of us here tonight always drop our microphones or our little cases for our microphones. I do it on a weekly basis, so that's exactly what Rosie did. So, hello, my friend.
How are you?
Good. I'm doing great.
Good, good, good.
I'm so excited to have you on.
It'll be fun. It'll be really fun.
I've been trying to get her on since we started back in April. I'm like, oh, we gotta set it up. We gotta set it up, and it's been a crazy year. It's been busy, 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 busy. So I'm glad that you're
Yeah.
finally on.
I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
So now, Rosie, the obvious, you come from an amazing family, very gifted family,
Thank you.
and no, thank you. Seriously, thank you. How I met Rosie, which I might have told the story about 25 times, I'm not sure. But how I met Rosie was at a wellness retreat at Hope Floats that I was taking a part in. And I remember I thought I was going in to do readings, so I showed up and I introduced myself. I go, oh, I'm Tiffany Rice. I'm here to do readings. And you looked at me like I had 5 heads. You were like, what? What do you mean? And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I was told that I could just come and do readings here. And so what ended up happening is you ended up having to make a phone call, and to make a very long story short, I did some readings on people, and the whole idea was, well, if someone doesn't show up, then you can definitely take over. But right now we're set for readers, so it was my first time giving anybody outside of my family and friends a reading, so I was really, really nervous about it. And it just so happened that one of the readers turned up to be a no-show. And so I ended up right away, she's like, you're in, go for it.
Perfection. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's the way things are supposed to be.
Spirit does that.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I went and I sat up in the room that they put me in, and I remember I looked over. It was a bedroom, because it was at Hope Floats, and it's a historical site, so it was actually a house belonged to the Wright family, I believe. And so I went.
don't remember.
Okay.
There's only so much I can
I
remember.
know. I went up to the bedroom, and I remember sitting there waiting for the first person to come in, and I look over, and in the bedroom there was a pillow, and it actually did say, follow your heart, it knows the way. So I thought, yep, you have to just go with your gut. And
Yeah. I remember that day you gave me a reading, a quick reading.
oh my gosh, and I was like, what do you mean you want a reading? Oh, okay.
And you did great. You did great. Yep. You
I was
got
so
in touch with my
nervous.
Grammy, who is the matriarch of our family, and her sisters all have this gift. You know, they're psychics and mediums. So there was Rosie, Maggie, Annie. There's 13 kids. So yeah. So that's where it started.
And so from this point on, it's just kind of now Stasha
My daughter
has a
Sasha,
gift, and
my niece Candace, of course my sister Maureen.
so it just kind of all falls into place.
Yep.
Now, was that the grandmother that I've heard so much about that actually had people lined up outside of her house?
Well, my grandmother's Maggie. Her sister is Annie, and it was Annie that had to
It was
move to
Annie.
Scotland because she just couldn't handle the volume of people who would be lined up outside her cottage in Ireland, in Donegal. So,
See,
yeah,
that's crazy to me.
that's crazy. It was cool. Yeah,
I love it.
really cool.
So now you don't do much medium work, correct?
No, I do some, but I would need to practice to have, it just comes to me when it comes to me. I can't call it up. I mean, maybe I can, but I don't know how to. I just haven't done it, for many different reasons. And, we'll see what develops. We'll see what I'm supposed to do.
Well, what I do know that you do is the soul coaching. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, soul coaching is just like life coaching in a way, but it goes a little bit deeper. When I'm doing a reading, you know, aside from the soul coaching, I'm talking soul to soul. So I'm having my soul talk to the person that I'm reading, and I just try to be as open as I can. I believe it all comes from a divine source. It's all love. It's all positive. That's who I am. That's how I read. So the soul coaching is from that perspective. It's you know, just very intuitive. I'm listening. Sometimes I'm seeing things, and it's just to help people move forward. That's
Right.
what soul coaching is about. If you're stuck, then I sit with someone and we just kind of go through their history and see where they're going, and see like what's on their side. Who's, you know, what are their skills? What are their gifts? Because everybody has them. We all have them. That's why we came here.
Exactly, and
To express.
it's what I was reading. I was actually not stalking you, but I was looking up on the website at Hope Floats because she has you up on her website, and it did say it. What you do is help pick out people's innate abilities.
You know, and sometimes
kinda-
I sit down with people who are psychic themselves, and then
Right.
they've felt nuts all their life, and then they find out they're not nuts.
It
It's
makes
just
sense.
a part of who they are. You know,
Exactly.
gift from God. That's what it is.
Exactly, and I think for the most part, a lot of times people already know. I don't want to say know what their purpose is, but they have a good guideline on where they're going in their life, and sometimes they just might need to hear it from you.
Yeah.
Just
Some
to-
people don't have a clue.
Yeah. Do you run into that a lot? Where there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of people that are like, just help me. Where am I going? What am I doing?
Exactly. Yeah. And the thing is with soul coaching is I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to help you find out what you need to do, because I can't do anything for anyone. I can guide them. I can direct them. I can give them some, you know, leg up.
Right.
But then, just like in the book The Secret, you know, people thought they could sit on their couch and manifest.
Right, right.
You have to take your action steps. So that's what soul coaching is about.
Yeah. See, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, have you taught any workshops as far as soul coaching goes, or?
I have not.
Okay, so it's just more so just like a
It's a
private
one-on-one.
reading. Okay.
Mhm. It's an hour-long one-on-one. Yeah. And then I have people, sometimes there's accountability, which is also helpful for people to move forward. When you have someone who's waiting, are you going to do that? More often than not, you'll do it.
Right.
I think that works well for people to have accountability.
Right. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I need it.
I-
so.
We all do. We all do. In like one form or another, we need to have that person to, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Now, as far as your intuitive readings go, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yep. So again, what I'm doing is I'm sitting, you know, one-on-one with people. It's a soul talk. That's what I feel it is. If there's information that needs to come up that might be in the subconscious, it will come up. I'm listening. I'm sometimes seeing things, and I won't guess at anything. If I don't know something, I say so. And it's kind of, I suppose, deeper than maybe any run-of-the-mill reading. You know, I want to see where they are in life, where they're going, like what's waiting for them, what's their soul purpose. Because, you know, like you said, you know, most people do, but my feeling is half do, half don't.
Yeah.
You know, when they get down to it, they say, "Oh, okay," or "I knew that," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm reading your energy." So,
Right.
yeah.
I'm actually telling you exactly what you're feeling, but you don't know how to put it into words, so to speak, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Or maybe they're just
Sometimes.
not ready to hear it.
That too. Yeah, I never know what I'm going to get, and I tell that to the people. I don't know what it's going to be like. Let's see how it pans out, and I just let it unfold.
I have talked to people that that aren't in the energy field as far as like I've just from doing your fairs. There was actually one of my family members that went to you for a reading, and she was amazed.
Oh, that's nice. That's good to
Because
hear.
it's
Always
true.
good to
It's
hear.
true because you need that. You need, like for her, she needed someone to just kind of guide her,
Right.
because I could only say so much over and over again. You know, so she needed to hear from somebody
well,
else.
yeah.
No, but it's true, and I can't wait because I've been dying to get a reading from you too.
Living
you know?
to get a reading. Yeah.
I know, living. Thank
living
you
to get
for
a reading.
reminding me of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll arrange that.
Good.
Yeah.
I hope so. So now, how people can reach you? You have an email address.
I do. It's Rosie, ROSIE Dalton, DALTON @yahoo.com.
Okay, and I know that the guys will be writing that through the bottom of the screen too,
Okay.
as well.
Oh, great. Thanks, guys.
Steph, do we have any reading? Do we have any readings so far?
Questions? Yes, I have a few.
Okay.
First and foremost, Todd Mooney says hi.
Who?
Todd Mooney.
Oh, Todd Mooney. Hi, Todd. Love you, Todd.
Put your mic on.
Todd.
Oh, just kidding.
Sorry.
That's good.
So for everybody that didn't hear me, Todd Mooney says hi to Rosie.
Love Todd.
Everybody loves Todd.
Yep.
We do here.
Todd's getting married.
He is. He is.
We talked about that last
He was
week.
just on a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago.
Good.
Was it a couple weeks ago already?
Yeah, it's been March 6th he was on.
Oh, he says love you, Rosie.
Thanks.
March.
First question is, does Rosie use crystals?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I love my crystals. I love the properties that they, the attributes of them. Again, I feel like there are so many tools that are available to us. And again, I think that they're gifts from God. I think crystals are incredible. I think they're beautiful. They tell me things about people. So yes, I do use crystals. Love crystals.
All right. Second question.
Oh, I do want to
Is-
ask you something. Sorry to
Just
interrupt, but how long have you always used crystals, or is this
No,
something that you
not
just
always.
started?
You know, my readings have kind of, you know, just taken a life of their own. I use cards, but not tarot. They're just cards with pictures that have a lot of beauty. I love beauty. So I can get the same card for 10 different people, but different information comes up and out of the cards. I don't know how to explain it. It's just something I started to trust. And that's what I do when I read. I just try to open my mouth and go. Because if you're a reader and you try to like use your, your rationale,
Right.
sometimes you're off. So I just try
Right.
to open my mouth and just let it out.
Ready?
Oh, sorry.
I was afraid. Does Rosie do Reiki?
Yes, I do. I'm a Reiki master and I teach Reiki.
That was actually a question from two different people. So,
Okay.
when did you first use your gifts to help someone, and how did it affect you?
That's a good one.
Well, you know, most, in my family, there's quite a few of us who have, different gifts. And as a kid, I was such a nervous kid. I was like set on high all the time, and I always felt like something was going to happen, and oftentimes it did. So I buried it for quite some time. I have a sister who had an accident, and that day I had been saying something's going to happen, something's going to happen. So I really did. I said to God, take it away. I can't deal with this. So I'd probably say when I started helping people, how old was I? Is that what they want to know? How long ago?
When did you first use your gifts to help someone, and how did it affect you?
Okay, so I don't know, maybe 20 years ago I started, and with Reiki. So that would be, and how did it make me feel? Was that the other question?
Yeah, how did it affect
Oh,
you?
it feels, I love to help people, that's also part of why I think we're here to serve others. I think we take care of ourselves, we fill our well, and then from that place we give to others, Service is good, it's necessary. This world really needs it.
One thing I do want to mention too, because you had said in the beginning of that answer, was that at first you were always kind of like almost anxious.
Oh
And
no, not almost. I was
you were like a
really nervous, anxious
all the
kid.
time, and I
All
think
the
that
time.
happens to a lot of people
Right.
with this gift.
That's right.
I
Your
agree.
nervous system is set on
It's
high so that you
at
can
all times.
receive.
Yes, and then you talk to, I call them the regulars.
The normal humans?
Yeah, the normal humans, and they're like, oh, she's kind of ditzy. And I'm like, no, I'm not ditzy. I have 5 million things going on in my head. And sometimes I just try to help them, and it just never I can never actually go through every single thing that's going on.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah,
So
sure.
and it's anxiety, but it's just funny because whenever time I do talk to somebody in this realm,
Mm-hmm.
they always have some sort of an anxiety
Yeah.
with them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's comforting to know, you know, if there's somebody out there who, you know, is like this, especially somebody young, nervous, you know, that it's a part of the deal, you know, and then you can say, oh my gosh, there's other people like me. And then maybe it's not so scary and not, you know, like, why am I so nervous?
Exactly, but it makes sense. When you start doing your intuitive readings and your soul coaching, and once you start focusing in on that, then you realize kind of why it happens.
Yeah. And when,
You know?
and when I'm reading, and probably when you're reading, I'm very calm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you know that's the only time you're actually calm, because you receive these messages and they come so quick and easy,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And I'm not that nervous anymore,
Yeah.
really, at all. So, but that comes with age and experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm still a crazy girl.
Well, I'm a teeny bit older than you.
Not by much. My birthday's Friday, so I'm catching up.
Oh, happy birthday almost.
Thanks.
How old? Oh, should we say? Or do we want to say?
I'll be 34.
Okay.
33 is my favorite number, so this
that's a
year,
good number.
This year has been my favorite
That's
number.
a Buddhist balance number.
And it's from Angela last week, told me that I was a 33.
Oh,
So
okay.
through her,
Like numerology?
Numerology
Oh, okay.
type, yep.
Awesome. Awesome.
so moving right along.
Okay. Has Rosie ever done work with someone and discovered that they have an amazing gift and they did not even know it?
Yes. I can't give you any names or anything like that, but
Right.
yes, I've told people that. And oftentimes I can look at in someone's eyes and I can see it in their eyes. So when I see that, I tell them, and we talk about it. We have a conversation.
Okay, same question for Tiff.
Have I noticed it? Absolutely. If I just allow it to, it doesn't even, actually it happened to me today. One of the nurse practitioners that I work with, I was aligning her chakras for her. And it, all of a sudden, right when I got to her third eye chakra, it was this huge energy.
Like a blast?
Yeah, it was. It was an exact blast. And I said, "You're intuitive, aren't you?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "No, she's intuitive."
Spirit
Yeah.
calling. Spirit calling.
Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah, it's just amazing. It's funny how it just kind of works out that way. And it happens so naturally, too. It's not just a sense of like, oh, I think. It's like, no, you are. You know, there was no doubt in my mind that
Yeah,
this
we
woman
all have
was.
we all have some.
I love it.
What is the most unusual circumstance Rosie has ever done a reading in?
Unusual circumstance.
Do you mean like a place? A certain...
I think that's what they meant.
Okay.
Like yours, I think, was a bathroom.
Yes, I did a reading in a bathroom. Did a couple of them in the bathroom.
Yes.
I don't know. I do them on the fly sometimes, but I can't, you know, right now I can't think of anything really unusual. Sorry.
It's okay. Okay. It's hard for me to, I'm reading them as they're asking like Rosie, 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 and I'm trying to like convert them into you. What's the most unusual dream that you've had that turned out to be precognitive, if that's ever happened to you?
Yeah, that happens a lot, and I think so. I wouldn't be able to, you know, pinpoint one, but when you know, like Robert Moss, for instance, he does dream work. So when you really tap into, you know, your psyche and you're talking to your psyche and you want to work with your dreams, then, you know, oftentimes you can do that. There are people who are precogs, you know, precognitive, and that's their deal. But I think, again, we all have a little bit of intuition, a little bit of precognitive stuff going on. So yeah, I've had a lot of that. I know that might not be totally what they want to hear, but
Oh no,
Okay.
I think that's a great answer.
okay.
You have a lot of stuff written down, Miss
Yes,
Stephanie.
I do, and I'm trying to keep track of it all while the chat room's still going. So, Has Rosie ever been asked to help solve a law enforcement case? If so, can she tell us about it?
Okay. No, I haven't, and that's not my forte. That probably won't be something I will do. It's just not for me. Just saying.
It's a little crazy around Spirit Connections tonight.
These things
I
happen.
like it. I like it. Adds a little sass to our step.
When you meditate, what type of music, if any, do you have playing?
Well, I am now I'm a Vipassana meditator, so there is no music, and Vipassana goes to the deepest level of the mind. And in January, I went on a 10-day silent meditation retreat to learn it. It was free. That's how it's, because it's been passed down, because of, for it to stay pure, it can't be charged. But anyway, that is what I do. I do Vipassana. It's an hour long each sit, and it's a kind of intricate method to learn. And so that's what I do. I don't have any music. I do Vipassana, and it's very deep and it's very wonderful.
Do you prefer that kind as opposed to like a guided meditation or meditation with music?
Well, when you do Vipassana, again, you're going really deep. So if and I do sometimes, I do a lighter meditation. I tend not to listen to music. I tend to watch my breath. I do the breath thing, and my mind is all over the place, just like everybody else. But they're two different animals, and it depends on how much time I have and or what's going on in my life.
I was just going to ask you, how much time does it usually take you doing the new meditation?
It's an hour each time.
It is.
Yeah, because it's a certain technique, and it really, truly does, it empties your mind. And when I was on the retreat, I had some really wonderful, incredible metaphysical experiences. So, yeah.
That's really cool. Okay. Has Rosie ever experienced a time slip, such as seeing or feeling as if she is at another point in time?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, not often. It's very unusual, but yes, I have.
All right. What does Tiff want for her birthday?
I want a puppy and lollipops. No,
You already have a puppy. You should ask for a pony.
I would love to have a miniature giraffe is more like it. I would love to have a miniature giraffe or a baby seal.
I would like a baby seal.
I know.
Did you
Or
see
even
about
the
that?
white one.
The baby seal that was found in New Zealand that crawled through the woman's dog door and was sleeping on her couch when she woke up.
Oh.
It was the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I went home and I told my husband I want a baby seal.
Adorable.
If I woke up with a baby seal on my couch, I probably wouldn't tell anybody it was there. I'd put it in my
know.
bathtub and
Just keep it. Little love bug.
Oh, it was adorable.
I mean, chocolate's good. I like chocolate, so hopefully maybe chocolate shows up magically.
Hint, hint, Bob.
Yeah. No, I'm really lucky. I feel I'm really blessed this year. So,
a good
birthday or
year.
not, I'm just really happy. So, I mean, chocolate makes me happy. So continue on now.
Last question I have for now. Doesn't mean another one or another 5 won't pop up in the next 5 minutes. But have you ever had a paranormal experience or gone in an investigation, or would you like to?
I have had several paranormal experiences, and the first one that I had that was significant was in 1987. I had purchased a Victorian home, a really old girl, and my children were little. And one night, I purchased this with my former husband, and in our bedroom was what was probably the old drawing room, and there was a foyer next to it, and something woke me up, and I saw a guy walking in the foyer, and I thought it was my husband at the time, and I said, "What are you doing?" And then I realized my husband was next to me, and then I looked at the guy again, and I could only see him to his knees, and he was heading to my daughter's room. So I jumped out of bed and ran to my daughter's room with my fists up.
Yes.
And at that time I couldn't see him, and my son at that time had also had some paranormal experiences, and I talked to that spirit, but I didn't feel that spirit was someone who loved him and was trying to communicate with him, because both my kids are mediums. So that was my first one, and then I've had a slew of them after that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
See, and I think that's great that you acknowledge it, because there's still so many people, even though we're all connected somehow, I
Yes.
feel, to whether it's paranormal or through intuitive readings or mediumship. It's some people are still kind of blocked in the sense of, nope, it's, it's Uncle Frank and that's it, or,
Yes.
they always have to have some sort of answer. And
Yeah, explain it away.
exactly.
And it can be scary. I grew up in a
Right.
family that this was, part of our heritage.
It's common
Yes.
knowledge, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about it a lot as kids because we were really Catholic, and but there's a lot of Catholic people who have these experiences, and that's
Yes.
priests and nuns as well.
It's true,
Yeah,
and it's becoming more and more
absolutely.
popular. It's becoming more and more well known and actually blessed in the church.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to use the term blessed as a
Well,
good word, but
maybe
it's-
acknowledged.
Acknowledged is really the right
Yeah,
word.
accepted, I don't know.
Certain
Exactly.
things that we do, like as far as like Reiki,
Say that again?
like Reiki, like we all do Reiki, it's
Uh-huh.
energy healing. Churches believe like, oh, it's the healing touch and only the higher ups can do it, but it's basically the same thing. It's the hand on the healing.
Well, it's all coming from one place.
Yes.
We're all divine,
Yep.
and it comes from a divine source.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It's the separation of the religion from everyday life, and
Yeah.
it's just what they believe. But I was actually Ashley's baby. I'm the godmother, and she's like, oh, we're gonna get baby baptized in the Catholic Church, and I said, well, that's gonna be good. Hi, I'm a practicing medium, and I do Reiki as well.
Yeah.
How do you feel about signing my sponsorship certificate? 'Cause it's tough. Well, oh, I go on paranormal investigations as well. Like
Exactly. But,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's
It can be tough sometimes.
is.
Yeah.
it
but
is.
you're right. It is what it is. That's the bottom line, I think, for all of us. Like
Yep.
we just kind of go our own path and believe, and we have. I know everybody that's been on Spirit Connections has a good intention in what
Absolutely.
they do. So it's not like they go in blindly, not knowing or not, coaching someone or reading somebody, or, they don't have that negative, oh, let's see what's going on with this person, or.
Right. But I think you should be careful about who
Absolutely.
you see.
Yes.
Get a good vibe, make sure they're coming from a good place in their heart and they're not cuckoo.
Now, I'll ask you this question, because this always seems to be brought up in our chat room. Do you do a power of protection before you talk to anybody, or even through daily everyday life?
I feel I am protected. I have always felt that way. I have, peeps on the other side who have my back. I have angelic presence. We all have a guardian angel. We have teachers and guides. We're not alone here. And, so no, I don't do that. If I felt the need to, I would. But I feel I'm protected, so
Good.
that's what I go with.
Good. And Steph, I see you writing.
Yes, I was trying to, but I think I might just ask them straight off here because they're coming in so fast.
No, good.
Does she think people have always had intuitive senses, even back to the earliest people?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's how we're built. And I think in the early days, even like prehistoric days, you had to have intuition to stay alive. The saber-tooth was coming. I'm sure all your hair
No, it
stood up.
sounds funny, but it's true. It's true,
Yeah. So yeah, I do think that for sure.
We've just learned to express ourselves a little bit easier, I think.
Yes.
That's all.
And saber-tooths aren't as common anymore, thank God.
Yeah, not so much, not in that form anyway.
Right. All right. Has she ever interfered, and they put in parentheses, changed an outcome of an event with a premonition because it involved a loved one?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Okay. Does she have her astrological charts done for her or not?
I do something called spiritual astrology. It's a man named Jerry Thomas in New Hampshire, and he does the work. There's only 6 people, last I knew, in the world who do this, and Sri Yukteswar was Yogananda's guru, and that's where the texts come from. There's 6 people in the world who deciphered these texts, these ancient texts, and it works for me. And again, it comes from a really high vibratory place. So, and I've always, I don't know what it is, but Sri Yukteswar is someone who I just always loved him, you know. So and when I found Jerry Thomas, I didn't even know that was how he did it. I didn't know it was from Sri Yukteswar. So how about that?
Well, does he still do it? Does he still?
Yes, he still does it. Yeah.
Like, could people contact him?
Yes, they could.
Wow.
I don't know. I think he's in Dover, New Hampshire. You'd have to Google him, and there's also maybe Still Point retreats. There might be something that will segue into Jerry Thomas in Dover, New Hampshire. And he records it on a disc, and he'll send it to you.
Oh, wow.
That sounds
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, I haven't had it done for a while, but
That's amazing.
Okay. Has
Yeah.
she ever had numerology done for her, and what did she think of it, if so?
I've had very rudimentary numerology done. I think it has, it's valid. I don't even remember what, it's not like my thing, but again, I think it has value and I think it has meaning.
It's a good answer. I think I am all done for right now.
Great.
Okay.
For now.
Great. One thing that I wanted to bring up too is Stasha's been doing some Soul Sister retreats.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I've been waiting to get there, and I just have not done it yet. And Steph and I were actually talking about maybe we could do one on our birthday and check it out.
Oh, fun.
Of course.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so, have you been to see her place at the Chatham Bars Inn?
Oh yeah, well, I was there her first one, yeah, and it was fabulous, really
A success, huh?
incredibly fabulous, yeah. It was, what they offered was wonderful, and the surroundings
I can only
Can't be beat.
imagine. I'm telling you, I can only imagine.
can't be beat.
I've only seen it online,
Mhm.
and Steph and I were doing our little stalking, and what?
I said, I know.
Oh, I know.
I wanted to go.
I know, and it's right on the beach.
Right on the beach.
We should go when
Can't
it's
beat
warm.
That would be nice.
I know.
Yeah.
So
Because it's
hopefully,
beautiful. In the winter, the pictures were phenomenal.
Mhm.
That's such a gorgeous place anyways, but to go when it's warm out, you can go outside too, or they might do stuff outside too.
The
you
thing
know?
is, when it's off season, you can get the better rate.
Yes.
yes.
Otherwise,
It's tough being
It's
on
not-
Cape Cod in the summertime, especially the traffic.
Yeah.
I remember driving down as a kid and I just
Yeah.
I had no patience for it.
right. And Chetham's Bars Inn is like so
It's
gorgeous.
so nice.
So yeah,
And nothing better than to go and just have a relaxing weekend, and we have to go.
I know. We really do. We really believe me. I know. Sorry, Evan. She knows. So that's great, though. Like, just everything seems to be coming together.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And Stash and I will, in the future, do retreats together as well. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Good. I can't wait. I can't wait. 'Cause
All right.
I'm telling you, at the Hope Floats retreats, I know we haven't done them together in a long time, and I miss that. I miss that. But we used to do one once a month, and
Back in the day.
back in the day.
Yeah.
I know.
So, yeah,
Exactly.
we'll see what the future brings. I'm just letting the future kind of unfold right now.
But isn't that the best thing? Like sometimes, for me, I know sometimes I get overwhelmed, and I think a lot of times like, oh, okay, what am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do now? And then Steph will just say, can you stop? How about you stop? And then you just wait and see what happens. And sometimes that's all you need to do is just kind of get out of your own way and just say, okay, I'll stop and chill out for a little bit. And then I can say, especially for me, more recently, a lot of things have been popping up, and it's like, for me, I feel a total blessing, even being part of the show Spirit Connections, being able to meet you again, not meet you for the first time, but to have you on to spread the good word, and to have people like Todd Mooney on to spread the good
Right.
word. Like every single one of us has a story, has something to share, has something to
Right.
tell. Just spread it out there. You know?
Spread the light. Spread the light.
And I love it. I love it. And Steph's writing once again,
Yes, I am.
as always.
They asked if you watched Long Island Medium, and what do you think of it, if so?
I don't. I know a little bit about her, like this much. I heard she's good. That's all I know. I didn't get to watch her. I don't watch her. I don't watch a lot of TV, so I just, sorry.
I haven't seen it yet either, to be honest with you. I know,
I think Oprah has picked her up.
Really?
That's what I heard. Yep, I heard Oprah picked her up. So good for
Wow,
her, and I,
good.
I wish
Yes.
her well.
Good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've only seen advertisements for the show, but I haven't watched it. I know from advertisements that there's going to be a premiere coming up, but
Yep, coming up soon, I think. I watched a few of them last season. I mean, it's your typical like medium show. Like it kind of shows like what we all do, like gallery reading and then this and family life. She's definitely entertaining.
Is she?
Yeah, she's just always laughing and just it's her real life. She doesn't really hide much, but it's interesting that you said Oprah picked her up because Oprah just picked up the psychic twins too. So it's interesting that everybody's going in the direction of
Right.
psychic medium now.
Right.
Because 5 years ago,
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. 2 years ago.
yeah,
I mean, John Edwards, yes, but
yeah.
you know,
Even that was kind of
and
short-lived
James
at
Van
first.
Prague too.
Yeah.
He was a big name out there too.
well, he
for
did
a while.
Ghost was he was
Yeah.
producer,
Yeah.
but he wasn't on TV. You know, it was
No.
really just John Edwards.
Right.
That
Yep.
was it. So
And it's funny that you mentioned Oprah again because I remember on her last show she had mentioned something about energy and how we're all energy.
Her
and
very
how,
last one, and I thought that was so interesting.
I wish
'cause
I could remember
recorded
exactly
it.
what she said, but it was
I'm
something.
sure you could YouTube it, but it was one of those things. It's like we knew what she meant, but the audience just thinks that she's talking like Oprah talks, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that was really, really weird. And like I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. And now all of a sudden,
And it
she
was,
picked up the psychic twins, and
exactly. And it was
then
about
that-
energy. That was
Yep.
the big thing. Like it was like we're all created with energy. And
Yep.
what I'm seeing in my work though is I'm seeing more and more women, particularly like women in their 40s and 50s and 60s who are really waking up. You know, the younger crowd, they're kind of already woken up. Well, a lot of them, but in that age bracket, people are saying, you know what, there's something more, and what is it?
Yes.
You know, so we're waking up en masse,
It's
which is great.
a lot. I think since September there's been a huge energy shift because I've just
Right.
noticed more and more people, even more people have contacted me too, and you.
Yep.
There's just been a lot of
A
action
lot's
going
happened. And I think it's going to continue that way. The change isn't over, but it's a cool thing to have that many people just waking up to the idea of this is what it is, or just everyday life of just switching their outlook too into a more positive change and a more positive attitude, and it's nicer for everybody, I think.
Right. Yep. I also do, some grief work as well, which we didn't talk about. So for 5 years, I facilitated grief groups for parents who have lost children. So I do see people here and there, one-on-one. I can't do the grief work like I did before. It's very heavy work, but I do work with people here and there, particularly parents who have lost children, to let them know, and what I want everyone to know is that this isn't the end, that there's more, that you're going to be with your loved ones again. That's a promise. That's a for sure. So, that's why, my family does the medium work too, to let people know that there's something else. This isn't the end. And for them, it's another beginning. So, yeah, just thought I'd talk about that.
No, I'm glad that you did.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you did because there's so many people out there. I mean, like I had mentioned earlier, I did some work with Nicole Stevens, and she had suffered a loss from her son Zachary, and there's a huge source of people that unfortunately are in the same boat, and they need that counseling. They need that someone that they can relate to. It always helps,
Right,
but it's
right.
so important to receive counseling.
Right. And, how differently would you live your life if you knew in the end it was all going to be okay?
Right.
That giving people hope is everything to me.
And there really is no end,
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Like you said, there's always something to live for. And I remember reading, actually, out of your sister's book, in that chapter where they were talking about, I want this ice cream, it's something to die for. And then you guys...
I said,
Yep.
yeah, I said to live for.
To live for, and-
because your words have vibration.
Yep. And I say that to you guys all the time. I'm always saying, whatever you put out there, so even if you're thinking like...
Sure, yeah.
Thinking and not even saying it, you're still putting it out there. Those thoughts
Yep.
are still going out there.
So it's
so important.
it's easy to change your thoughts. It's like that.
Yep.
And just work on it.
Well, I'm sure you get this too. Sometimes when I get readings, some people say, well, is that for sure? Are you sure that's probably going to happen? Or do you think And I always say, you could walk out and everything could change.
Right,
So
right.
nothing is ever for sure.
Yeah, you're reading current reality,
Right.
possibilities, probabilities.
Right.
That's what I say, yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because it's true, and you just have to be your own guide, and that's basically what you try to help people out when you do your soul coaching, is that you have to learn to be your own guide and listen to your intuition, and because everybody's intuitive, they really are. It's just learning to trust your gut.
Yep.
And it's the same. I say it to you guys all the time. I do, but it's true. You have to learn to just listen to your own mind and your own gut, because your gut is never going to steer you in the wrong direction.
That's right, that's right. You always
It's
listen
just-
to that little voice.
Exactly, and it's whether you choose to listen to it or not.
Yeah.
And when they don't listen, they go to Rosie. They go to Rosie and they say, like, oh, wait a minute. Wait, what'd you say? So you mean? Steph, do we have any questions?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw you writing.
No.
So now, with all your experiences, and you've had a lot, what can you say? How do I want to word this? What can you bring home at night? Like, how do you feel? Do you feel going through your experiences as far as giving all these readings to people and, coming from a well-known family, and how do you handle that?
Well, I just try to do my piece in the
Good.
world. What I want to say to you and, to you, Steph, and to anybody else who's listening who is a reader or an energy worker, you have to take time for yourself, and you have to, tune into yourself too, because sometimes you can be so outwardly focused that you forget yourself. So that's one piece, is I try to pay attention to, do I need to pull back? Do I need to rest? What else is going on in my life? What's affecting me? Because I think that, for me anyway, it has an impact on my readings. And how do I feel about coming from this type of family? Well, my mother raised us to help, and that's what we saw growing up. My mom, my dad always helped people. I have 8 brothers and sisters. We have a big family, so we didn't have a lot, but what we had, we really did. We shared it. But I'm also a big believer in filling your own well first, taking care of yourself, because what you're giving from that place is so different from being, tired or resentful or something like that. So I feel like I'm doing the work that I should, but I also feel like it's always changing, it's always evolving, and I'm always trying to pay attention to that. Where am I going next? What is happening? And I'm watching patterns in my life, like everyone should be. Be aware, be awake, because that's going to move you, that's going to evolve you.
And it's true, and it's very hard when you put yourself out there to set your boundaries.
It can be.
It can be.
Particularly in the beginning. Yeah.
Exactly, because that's what I've learned, is I've learned that it's really hard for me to say no a lot, and so now I'm finally just saying no, and
It's a process.
it's a process, but it feels good, because you are entitled to have your time. You are entitled to.
You better
have
take
to.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to. You have to, or you're
Yeah.
going to get burnt out.
That's right. Yeah, you have to watch burnout. Yep.
Even some days I'll get to the studio and I'll ask Steph, wait, what day, even though I know it's a Tuesday, I'll say, what day is it? Wait, who's on? And I'll have my guest on sitting next to me. I'll say, wait, what was this? But yeah, because sometimes you just feel like you're scattered and you're pulled in all different directions, but you need to have that balance, which I will tell you that's what I'm learning right now. But it feels good when I'm like, I have to say no to this.
That's right. Yeah.
You
You
know.
have to do it. For sure.
Or you'll end up resenting, and I feel overworked, and blah, poor me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and you gotta have joy.
Yeah.
You gotta have joy, and you have to have peace. Gotta have it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, do you see, I know you have your eyes on the horizon with some good things coming up, and heading your way. How can you not? And I actually want to ask you a little bit further about the meditation. Do you think you would do anything more with the meditation, or do you think it was more an experience for you?
Well, for probably the past 10 years, I've taught guided visualization meditation. So I like doing that. Vipassana, you really need to, I could not teach it. I don't feel I could teach it.
Okay.
I'm too new. I'm a newbie. I was sitting with people who have done it 12 times, 15 times, and maybe they could teach it. There's a Dharma teacher, and she's been doing it. Did you hear that, teacher?
Yeah.
Boston. She's been doing it for 30 years. So I'm nowhere near that. And it's something I have to work on to keep my practice going. It's not easy, but I'm doing it.
Yes,
I'm
you
doing it.
are,
Mhm,
along
mhm.
with everything else
Yes.
coming up, which I'm so happy about.
Thank
So
you.
there will be things announced in the near future.
And
so.
I in the future doing art and spirituality. So I'm an artist. That's my
See, I didn't know that.
yes, that's what I went to school for. Yeah, I went to a little bit of Mass Art, New England School of Art and Design, Bridgewater State, and that's my thing.
During my stalking, I didn't come across any of that, Rosie. Why isn't it posted anywhere?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and and I've started to show people how to do things, and so I think combining like fun and little new, pieces of spirituality that people might just be kind of, dipping their little toe in, and art and food can't be beat.
You can't be.
Can't be
No.
beat. So that's on the that's on the horizon, like you say, and that's
That's the direction that you
That's
would
a
hope
passion.
to go for.
yeah, that's a passion.
And I always say, especially with passion, like once you find your passion, or it finds you, in whichever way it comes to you, there's no other way around it. It's to be dealt with in a positive way. I mean that, like dealt is probably the wrong terminology, but it's something where
Indulge
you,
yourself,
exactly.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's something that you indulge in, and there's nothing else that you could even think of doing other than being part of your passion. So we have one more question left.
Okay, all right.
Todd was just telling me to throw something at you, so we can
Oh,
answer.
sorry.
I told him I have a hair elastic and I don't think my aim's the best. Do you think that we are all moving toward a spiritual evolution?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Now, they talk about the Mayan calendar and things like that. And what I believe that I think it's doomsday. No, I do not. I believe it's like, again, wake up to what is actually happening on this earth and who you are. Why are you here? I mean, we all have purpose. We, these are my beliefs, but I believe we have an agreement with the divine to come here to do, to, just be who
Right.
you are. Not even so much what did you come here to do, who did you come here to be? That if you can work on that, make that a process, keep evolving, keep working as the best you can at everything you do. That's relationships, that's, anything that, is everyday life. So yes, I absolutely believe that. And I also believe the divine feminine is really waking up.
Yes, we are. Yes,
And it's
we
a
are.
good thing. It's not a threatening thing. It's a good thing.
Well, Rosie, I want to thank
That's a
you for
great
being on the
answer.
show
Thank
tonight.
you. Thank you for having
And
me.
where can people reach you again? What's your email?
Rosie, and that's lowercase, Rosie, ROSIE Dalton, all lowercase, DALTON, @yahoo.com.
Which it's on the bottom of the screen. So if you guys didn't catch it, also I'll be posting it on my Facebook, which is Spirit Medium Tiffany. And once I get my website up and going, it's going to be posted on that too. So definitely, guys, thank you again for joining me. And tune in next week. I'm going to have Terry Gemros on again, which I love her. We're going to be talking about crossing over,
Okay.
which is
All
something exciting. So until next time, make sure you get connected with Spirit Connections. And I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.